If we come to taking few more basics from vectors, okay. In this, we have to discuss even in the two-dimension motion. It is part and parcel of vectors also. That's why it is a 2D motion. In this, we are going to discuss. It is a chapter related to related to the motion as well as the vectors. So here, before studying the motion, first we enter into the vectors part. Okay. So here, entering into the vectors. Then in this vector, what are the things required here to study the motion in two dimensions? In this case, I require, first of all, the representation of a vector. Number two, what are the different types of vectors? Number three, how if number of vectors are given, how to add. Number four, how to subtract. Why you require the addition or subtraction, sir? Best example, suppose if you want the acceleration, the two constant acceleration, I require the formula v minus u by t. There it is not change in speed, change in velocity. There in two dimension, I require the subtraction of vectors. Suppose if they ask the average velocity is equals to, I have to write v plus u by 2. Yeah, here this is two dimension, not one dimension. So addition of vectors is required. So addition of vectors, subtraction of vectors, and sometimes I require the product of two vectors also. Suppose simply from lower standards, if we recollect multiplication. There we suppose if you recollect from 10th class or 9th class, the work done, how to calculate. Then usually we say force into displacement, the product of force to displacement. Yeah, exactly. Product of force to displacement. In vector form, we write here as F bar into S bar with a symbol here called as dot. This is just dot. Like www.sharadjuniorcollege.com. Okay. In the same way here, we write put it here the dot. Okay. This is called as dot product. Yeah. This dot product, after taking the product, we will get a scalar on the other side. This is one kind of product. In the same way, another product is also there, that is called as cross product. It is not required in the initial days. Okay, when we enter into the chapter like the system of particles, that is rotatory motion, there very frequently we use the cross product. That time we will discuss about the cross product. Okay. In the meanwhile, again, if we have the exams related to the chapters, like descriptive exams, then that time we will discuss the other kind of product. Okay. In application, we won't find the cross product here in these initial chapters, like laws of motion or work power energy. In this motion in a straight line, we won't use the cross product. That's why better we discuss the other product during that time when we start this system of particles. Okay. Briefly, I introduce what I am going to start in vectors. Okay. So I need the subtraction, addition, and in the product, I require dot product. These things I am going to discuss. Okay. Before discussing here, vector, I'm not interested to say the definition of vector. Already all of you know what are the vectors, you know, and I'm having quantity having length. Advaita, I think it is a vector is nothing but a physical quantity having both magnitude and direction, direction and magnitude. Not only, but also it has to obey. Yeah. One more waste fellow we introduced, whom the tensor. Anyone remember? Right. And magnitude and direction as well as obeys the laws of vector. Yeah, good, correct. Srinivik, yeah, what you posted, 100% correct. Laws of vector addition, exactly. Electricity, electric current, I think I gave that day one example. Okay, yes, Pranav. Yeah, right, correct. Electric current is a tensor. It has the direction, but it does not obey the laws of vectors. Okay, so vector definition already I introduced and you came to know what is the vector, and the few examples also given. In those vectors in coordinate system, if you take a vector from origin, that is called as a position vector. Already I said. Okay, this is a position vector. If a vector has the magnitude 1, that is called as unit vector. Yeah. If a vector has the magnitude 0, that is null vector. Okay. Taken from origin, this is called as position vector. Equal vectors, unequal vectors, these things already we discussed in the introductory chapter, that is basic maths. Yes. So when we come to here, even the resolution also I already explained, I believe. Am I right, Nana? In 2 dimension, the resolution of a vector, I believe that I explained. Resolution means what are the components of a given vector. Of a given vector. Suppose this is a position vector. The pink one is the position vector. And they are just the coordinate axes like x and y. Suppose this position vector has the length. Length means its magnitude. I think all of you remember how to represent the magnitude. Magnitude we represent either like mod A or simple A. Am I right, Nana? Represented like this. Yeah, exactly. So its length, suppose I take it as bare A without bar. Okay. Or mod A bar, anyone you can put there. Okay. So this A makes an angle some theta with x-axis. The other angle, anybody can say that is 90 minus theta. Let it be alpha, I take that angle. Okay, so that alpha plus theta equals to 90 degrees, simply. Okay, and its magnitude is A, I'm taking here. Then the magnitude of a vector can be resolved into 2 components along x and y axis, as I think all of you remember, this is A cos theta, am I right? One component. Yes, another component will be A sin theta. Okay, the adjacent side to the angle will be a cos function, will have cos function, other will have sin function. In the same way, if you want to write in terms of alpha, I can write here, this is the adjacent side for alpha. So I write it as A cos alpha, and here I write it as A sin alpha. Any confusion is there, Nana? Is it clear? Very good. Yeah, right. So these are the representations. Okay. This is called as resolution of a vector. This one already we discussed. Okay, in basic maths. This is resolving a vector. Into components. Okay, 2 components. This is 2 dimension. Okay, so here, after saying these 2 in 2 dimensions, I already told previously, I think all of you remember, what are the unit vectors along x-axis and y-axis? Okay, I cap is the unit vector along which direction, Nana? Ah, ijk, correct, exactly. Very good. This is along x-axis. Yeah, J is along y-axis. Ah, right, good. And K is along z-axis. Right, good. Along z-axis. These three are what? The unit vectors. They are unit vectors. Unit vectors means, try to remember their magnitude. If anyone asks you, say it is equals to 1, means mod I cap equals to 1. Yeah. In the same way, similarly, mod j equals to mod k equals to 1. Their magnitudes are 1. Okay, good. And here, using the unit vectors, how to write the given vector having the magnitude a. That one already I gave in the fundamental classes. Just I'm going to recollect all the things till what I explained. Here, the vector can be written as its magnitude into its unit vector. Remember this one on all of you? Yes, good. So that this formula where I use when you come to why, because this is a chapter related to vectors. So here we have to use. So here, if they ask the unit vector, then we write it is a bar like by mod a bar. Okay, right. So it is the magnitude, it is the unit vector, and this is a bar. Okay. Here only better we take one example to understand what type of questions we are going to expose here. If you see there. Okay, why? Because it is not a fundamental chapter, it is a regular chapter. So we have to expose to few numericals. Okay, so here what kind of questions they ask are, suppose a vector is represented like this. A bar is equal, so I think in fundamentals I explain only 2 dimension, not 3 dimension. So better I take the 2 dimension. A bar is equals to like a 2 I cap or else a 3, okay, 2 I cap plus 4 j cap. And B bar is equals to say some 3 I cap plus 4 j cap. Okay, these are 2 vectors he gave. Keenly observe what I am going to ask. Find a third vector, means a vector. Vector means what you require? Magnitude and direction. So magnitude he is saying, having the magnitude of B bar. B bar has how much magnitude? The third vector has the same magnitude. Okay, so the third vector has a magnitude of B bar. Okay, sir, magnitude you say. What direction, sir? Direction, having a magnitude of B bar along the direction of A bar. These type of questions you see when we open our college material or some other assignments. Okay. So if you see such kind of problem in our college material, then don't get confused and don't get panic, don't get tensed. Okay. And here directly you try to understand what he asked. Okay. Let the vector he asked. Vector, okay, B, C bar, having the magnitude equal to B bar, direction A bar, C bar. Sorry, Nana, it is not possible. Okay, you have to adjust to this kind of Rishikesh. Why? Because I don't have whiteboard in my house. Okay, And I don't know what will be the kind of difference between that seeing whiteboard explanation and this whiteboard, white screen explanation. Is there any difference? I don't think it's so. Yes, exactly. Why? Because what is the difference by calling a friend, video call and voice call? If you want to understand what your friend is conveying, that's what I'm saying, Nana. Voice call and video call, what is the difference? Just you see your friend face only, but conversation will be same. Na? It is simple waste kind of discussion. Okay, right? See there, let the vector be C bar, Nana, here. So for this vector C bar, okay, here, if you see there, he said it has the magnitude of B bar. So C bar, B C bar, and it can be written as, magnitude 5. Very good. That's what I'm writing, Nischal Balaji. C bar, actually, according to my explanation, how to write the C bar? Like A bar, how I wrote here, mod A bar into A cap. In the same way, C bar, I write here, its magnitude, mod C bar, into its unit vector, C cap. Okay. Any mistake here, Nana? C bar is equals to mod C bar into C cap. Correct. Very good. No mistake. Then look at this magnitude is saying that same as that of B bar. So given that in the question, I'm going to the next page. In the question, given that he said mod C bar is equals to mod B bar, whose magnitude is equals to magnitude of B bar. Okay, so in place of mod C bar, I have to put mod B bar. And number 2, it is along the direction of A bar. Direction will be given by whom? Do you know who will give the direction of a vector? Why you put the question mark, Rakali? Unit vector, not arrow or turn. Okay, unit vector. Unit vector will give the direction. Okay, right. So along A means A has the unit vector A cap. So the direction of the vector, that is C cap, it is equal to the direction of A cap. Why? Because it is along the direction of A bar. So along the direction of A bar, its direction is given by A cap. So here the direction of the third vector C cap he gave, it is in the direction of A bar, so A cap. So C cap equals to A cap. So if you understand the given data, it is very easy to solve the question. So directly you can go if you understand this part. Any doubt here, Nana? The given data, what I wrote here? No doubt. Yeah, good, good. So here I am going to write that implies C bar can be written as, okay, actually mod C bar into C cap. Okay, mod C bar is equals to mod B bar, he said in the question. And mod C cap, he gave it as A cap in the question. So if you are able to plug in the two things here, then it is very easy to say the answer. Okay. Sir, what are the things to be plugged in here, sir? One, mod B I require, A cap I require. Oh, mod B, very easy, sir. Already here few students posted the answer also. Okay, previously. Yeah, like a few students here, they posted the answer. That is 3, B bar none. Yeah, Deepika, I think, yes, correct. Posted here the answer. So if you see there, given that B bar is equals to what 3 I cap plus 4 J cap. So its magnitude, if you write, I think all of you remembered how to find the magnitude from fundamentals. Right, exactly. Like ax square plus ay square. Ax square is 3 square plus ay square is 4 square. So ax square plus ay square. This is exactly 16 plus 9, that is equals to 25. Under root 25 is 5 mod. So we are taking positive value. And here a cap. Yeah. Actually, you asked that question only now. Why should I remember this formula, sir? What is the use of remembering that formula? Yes, now you are finding out the use of remembering this formula. Okay. Look at there. A bar is equals to what? A cap equals to what? A bar by mod A bar. So we have to find out A cap. A, look at there, what he gave. 2I cap plus 4J cap. Come to here and write A bar is equals to what he gave. 2I cap plus 4J cap. Next, I require A cap. B bar already I found. A cap. According to the formula, it is A bar by mod A bar. A bar, already it is there on the board in pink color. 2I cap plus 4J cap. By mod A bar, mod of this one, if I calculate here, root of, again, like ax square plus ay square. That is 2 square plus ay square. 4 square is 16. 16 plus 4, 20, under root 20. Is it correct, Nana? Shall I write it like a 4 into 5? 4 into 5 means 2 root 5. Yeah, 2 root 5. Exactly. So that 2 root 5, I am going to substitute here. So if I divide with the 2, both the I coefficient and j coefficient, then I will get this is, right. I cap plus 2j cap by root 5. Yeah, exactly, Srinidhi. Yeah, you are right, now, I think. Of course, you are always right. Then here, coming to mod C, C bar, that implies C bar equals to, I am going to write mod B bar is 5 into A cap. I am going to substitute A cap like I cap plus 2J cap by root 5. Okay, root 5, if I cancel overtake, I will get root 5 into I cap plus 2J cap. This is nothing but what Srinidhi Priya posted. Same answer we will get here. That implies C bar equals to, we will write root 5 into I cap plus 2 root 5 J cap. Now follow, Nana, how to solve these kind of questions and what is the use of, yeah, good. What is the use of, yes, good, Suryavartha. What is the use of this formula? Basic formula, what we learned where in basic maths. There we learned this formula. Okay, right. Now, just for your practice, I'm giving one example. Okay, you do it at home. Means at home means after the class. Okay, you try it. I'm not solving this question. Find a vector, same type. I'm giving one example. Vector having the magnitude of having the magnitude of a bar in the direction of b bar, okay, where a bar is equals to like a 2 minus 2j cap and b bar equals to here like okay, 6 I cap plus 8j cap. Okay, will you solve it, Nana? Is it possible? Yeah, good. Right. I'm leaving it as homework. This is the homework question. Okay, you tried. Good. Now I'm leaving the space. Anushita, is it your first? Sure, Nana. Is it your first class? Then why you are facing the trouble here? What you did not follow in the 2 pages, first page and second page? You joined later. That is your mistake, not my mistake. Then you once watch the previous classes, Nana. Basic maths classes. You can find out there in the channel, in my channel, Narayanam Chekri. Okay, YouTube channel. Achha, okay. That's what I'm saying. These fundamentals here already I explained. Okay. I already Narayanam. Sorry, I wrote wrongly here. Chekri physics classes. Sorry, Chekri physics classes. Okay. Yeah, physics classes. Okay. I already posted, I believe that previously what I taught, these fundamentals and all in my channel. Once you watch, YouTube channel, YT channel, yes. Mathematical tools, yes, exact. Mathematical tools, yes. Okay. Then I think those fundamentals, if you come across, you can understand these classes. No problem. This class also I am recording here. Okay. Once after watching those classes, again you watch this class, I think you can understand. Okay. Right. Good. Then here, I'm leaving some space for this question to solve. Okay, then. Coming to here. Next to here. Sure, Pranav. Shall I move to next slide? Okay, right. Coming to here. Here, how we wrote like a vector as in the previous example or in the next example. We wrote like 6I cap plus 8j cap, how we wrote along x-axis and along y-axis. Here, suppose a vector is given in 3 dimensions, then how to write a vector? and how to find its magnitude. Okay. So not example, better we go to some theory related to it. Okay. That is a representation of a vector. This is the representation of a vector. Okay. In 2D or 3D, if you ask, I say in 3 dimension. 3D. Okay. This is the representation of a vector. So here in the representation of a vector, that too particularly in 3D, we have to show the 3 components in the 3 directions, along x-axis, along y-axis, and along z-axis. Okay. So here, suppose a position vector is taken like this. This is actually y-axis, normal representation. This is x-axis. Usually z-axis means out of the plane. Out of the plane, we can't show. That's why it's a shadow we are drawing here. This is the shadow of z-axis. Better I draw with a dotted line. This is the shadow of third axis, z. Just like in sunlight, if you place a pen or if you stand on the earth, how you see your shadow back of you or front of you, like this is the shadow for the vertical line. Vertical means perpendicular to this whiteboard. Okay, so this is the z-axis. So that z-axis, 3 axes I took here, like x, y, and z. And now I am taking a vector. Which vectors are? Again, position vector. Position vector, try to recollect, that should pass through origin. So this is a position vector, what I took. Passing through origin. Vector, I think you know that tail gives a starting point, the head gives the final point. All of you remember, Nana? In the representation of a vector? Very good, very good. Tail stands for the initial point, head stands for final point. Very good. Suppose this is a vector I gave like a bar. And that vector, suppose he said, makes an angle alpha with x-axis, beta with the y-axis, and here the third z-axis is completely perpendicular to the board. That's why I can't show the z-axis on the board here. So I'm writing it there. Gamma with z-axis. Here I can't show it is gamma. Why? Because it is just a shadow of the z-axis. That's why I'm writing here gamma with z-axis. These are the angles. While resolving, particularly here in the first page, you understood if some angle is given, it is very easy to say the adjacent side first. Okay. Adjacent side, after resolving, we will get for theta, you will get cos theta. For alpha, you will get cos alpha. The adjacent side is always a cos function. Okay, according to the trigonometry from mathematics. So here, using the trigonometry, I know the 3 angles. So it is very easy to say the 3 adjacent sides along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So I'm writing here first the components of the given vector. Okay, of the given vector along the 3 axes, x, comma, y, and z axis along the 3 axes. Or I write here as, since alpha is known with x axis, I have to write it as I think already few followed. I'm going to write it like A cos alpha. Is it right, Nana? Yeah, exactly. Sriniditya. Excellent. A cos alpha. Yes. And in the same way with the Z axis, sorry, Y axis, you know beta. Yeah. So the with the Y axis, the component I write it as A cos beta. And with the Z axis also, you know the angle gamma. Very good. And its component is A cos gamma. These are the three components along the three axes respectively. Okay. So after writing the three components, okay, if you ask me the magnitude for x-axis and y-axis, if I know the magnitudes, how I wrote, I already know from fundamentals, basic mathematic tools. Okay. So then mod A bar can be written as root of here A cos alpha whole square, AX square plus A cos beta whole square, that is AY square, right? And look at the third axis, Z axis, is completely perpendicular to the board. It is perpendicular. Root. This is what I am writing now. Pranav. Here AX square plus AY square. This is for two axes. We are introducing the third axis. That's what I'm saying. Additionally, since that is perpendicular to these two axes, perpendicular means again using the Pythagoras principle, plus I have to write A cos gamma whole square. You understood this step, Nana? Yes. So it is looking like what? This is what Pranav posted there. He posted with the two axes only. Pranav, now you introduce the third axis also. Nana. Root of, you will get here AX square plus this is AY square plus this is along Z axis AZ square. So is it clear? Or any doubt here? In three dimension, how to find the magnitude? Do you have any doubt, Nana? Regarding the formula? No doubt. Very good. Very good. Okay. Right. Root of AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. Right. Root of. Right. Exactly. Okay. And here from this, what I wrote here, this pink color box. Okay. And from this box. Yeah, subscript. Ax, y, z are subscripts. Ax square, ay square, az square. Okay, like a subscript x, like this. Shreyas. So is it clear, Nana? Yeah, okay, right. Means it is just an indication now. A, if you write, then we will get some doubt now. It is along x-axis or y-axis or z-axis. So for our sake, we are writing along x-axis ax, a subscript x. Every time we can't pronounce subscript. So simply in short way, we are calling it as ax. Okay. A subscript y. Simply we are calling it as ay. A subscript z. Calling it as as. Okay. This is for our convenience. We are right. Okay. Then coming to here. Look at this pink color box. I write by squaring on both sides, Nana. Okay. That implies I write mod A bar square Of course, from this box, it is very easy to say ax square plus ay square plus ac square. But from the pink color box, I write here as a square cos square alpha plus a square cos square beta plus a square cos square gamma. Okay, look at that. Expand form, exactly. And here I'm taking a square comma. Mod a bar is nothing but simple bare a. So bare a square, mod a bar or bare a, both are one and the same representation. Okay. So a square equals to, on the other side, a square taken common. I'm getting cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma. Okay. So a square, yeah, squared on both sides. Oh my God, Pranav. Don't expect that kind of steps, Nana. Every time I won't write it. Means square on both sides. Why? Because we are not in 10th class now. Okay, we are a bit grown up. That's why you have to understand. Okay, by squaring on both sides, you will get this step. Okay, good. Very good. Keep it up for now. Okay, then a square get cancelled here. Then you will get what? After cancelling, you will get 1 there. 1 equals to, better I cancel, a square and a square cancel here. 1 equals to, I will get on the other side cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma. This is called the cosine rule in vectors now. Okay. And here what you wrote, cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, they are called as individually as directional cosines. Okay, better I write here. I'm going to write there. Here, what are cos alpha, cos beta, all the 3 cosines, cos gamma, are called directional cosines. Okay. Find the directional cosine along x-axis. Which one you find? Cos alpha or cos beta or cos gamma? Suppose if you find in exam. Wow, good. Very good. So you understood. Nice. Keep it up. Very good. That is cos alpha you try to find. Okay. Find the directional cosine along z-axis. Cos gamma. Very good. In the same way, find the directional cosine along y-axis. Cos beta. Very good. That is cos. So these are the directional cosines along. I am writing x, comma, y, and z axis respectively. So such kind of questions you can find when we start the problems. Find the directional cosine along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. That time directly we go, which axis he is asking. Okay, y-axis. Directly I go to cos beta. Yes, good. Okay, the directional cosines. And here 2 directional cosines are given and he is asking the 3rd directional cosine. To find out, here we use this black result. Okay, directional cosine. It is called as directional cosine. Cosine rule, Nana. Cos rule. Cosine means cos rule. In vectors. Right. Cos rule in vectors. Directional cosines. So if I come to here, this one. Again, the pink color box. This one is helping us to find out the 3rd directional cosine if you know 2 directional cosines. Okay, right. This is one more result we require. Okay, this is what we say cosine rule. Okay, in vectors, not in geometry now. It is not a cosine rule in geometry. Okay, it is a cosine rule in vectors. Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equals to. Okay, right, good. Right. And here, after knowing, then you can write here like, suppose if I want the unit vector only along x-axis. Okay, this is the last one. I'm going to wind up here after writing the thing. The unit vectors along x, comma y, and z axis. Already we know I, j, k. Okay, those I, j, k I'm writing here as respectively, and they can be written as like ax cap, a subscript x cap, a y cap, and a z cap. You follow this one, Nana? Yeah, a x cap, a y cap, a z cap, which are nothing but I, j, k. Yeah, good. Right? Then here, how to interrelate these unit vectors with the directional cosines. Okay, tomorrow we will start. Right? Do you have any doubts here in the 4 pages, Nana? No doubts. I'm going to stop the class here.